So I mean, you can wait a minute. No, hello. Do you know what I mean?
What's going on? It's London Boy Podcast back with another episode. Today we'll be talking about ghost stories and paranormal activities and spirits and
Yeah, man.
that's type of shit, black magic, judge, whatever you want to call it. So juju magic. So we're going to talk about different type of stories, different type of theories and experiences. And yeah, we'll leave it to you to decide on your final take on that. Ted, tell me about a paranormal idea or experience you've ever had in your life.
So I think in terms of paranormal, what does it mean? It's a ghost, or it can be perceived as like a demon, or any sort of religious sort of aspect to where you move on when you die. Different ways of looking at it, right?
What do you mean religious?
If you're a Christian, if you're a Muslim, or whatever religion you are,
Could be
Can you not be an atheist and believe in ghosts?
I mean, you could be an atheist, but you might have had ghost experiences. Doesn't mean you're religious as such, but it depends on. Myself, I won't class myself as strongly religious, but I also believe in science. But when you feel like you've experienced something you can't explain, what do you do? You just gotta go with it, I guess. But yeah, I mean, one of my experiences, I guess, was when basically with my ex-girlfriend, I'd say, had a few different things that come up about, and different beliefs in terms of pendulums and different things, and like.
So what's this about a pendulum?
So like basically,
what is a pendulum?
What is a pendulum first for the viewers that don't know?
Right, yeah. So it's basically like an object, right? And you ask, quote unquote, a spirit about something, right? And then you say ask the question, and if the pendulum, I don't know if I'm 100% on this one, but if it spins round in a circle, it's yes. If it goes backwards and forth, it's no. So the pendulum is basically like a metal object with it on a chain, right? And you hold it up and it hangs down. So whether it spins or sways,
like a dream catcher.
I don't know about that, mate,
So,
but yeah.
So the way it spins there's no magnets forcing it to spin. How do you? It's not the person spinning it themselves.
Wind.
Well, yeah,
not the wind.
I guess you got
the wind.
You got to believe that it's saying what it is, but
yeah,
like she would ask questions to the spirits in her house, and just different things like that. Really, whether about
shit.
Experiences that happened. When I was there, I even experienced some things where you'd hear noises around the room, and I'd be laying there at night in bed, and in the house, and I'd hear objects and people walking above, like hear just boom, 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 like people walking up and down, pacing in the house. And at that time, there was nobody else there. It was just me and my girlfriend at the time. And
so how do you know it wasn't the neighbor? It could have been the neighbors.
Could have been floorboards.
Now, so the house
could have been Ritz.
Now the house was detached, so it wasn't an attached house.
Detached or semi-detached.
It was in a fully a detached house, right? So there was no possibility of anyone else, making them sounds. There was nobody else there. It was literally just me and my girlfriend at the time, and yeah, we heard noises. And at that time you're thinking, wait a minute, is there someone here, or am I just hearing things? So at one point we sort of had a look and stuff. I went out a look, but there was just obviously no one there. And yeah, just went back down and trying to go back to sleep and stuff. And yeah, and I was speaking to my ex-girlfriend about it, and she was saying, yeah, like time to time I just hear noises upstairs and just people walking around and noises around the house. And I'm just thinking, like, this is the most fucked up thing going, really.
So this ex of yours, is she just going about it like it's normal?
I mean, I think she was just used to it, and I think from her point of view, she'd heard it a lot in the house. And I think it's just something that she just dealt with when she was living there, really.
Jesus, personally, if I was there, I would have probably, fucking shat my pants, to be honest with you.
And it was saying that afterwards, it was afterwards that she actually spoke about it afterwards and used the pendulum to ask the spirit, about whether it was an evil spirit or some relative. And yeah, like the whole thing was just absolutely terrifying for me. And things, you know, me
What happened
personally,
when-
I'm from a background where I believe in science. I believe in, you know, the fact that you know, Earth has come from, we're in space, right? Earth has come from a massive balling fire, you know, a massive hot rock that's cooled down, and then objects have come and grown from it, right? I don't necessarily believe in my opinion of God creating Earth, right? So I've got a different point of view of things.
Bullshit.
But this is what I believe in. But again, but when you hear them things, you know what? How do you explain it? How do you explain it? You know?
What happened when your ex-bird did the pendulum thing? When she asked, "Is there like a good spirit or whatever?"
I'll tell you what. From what I heard, I couldn't hear anything in some. She didn't say anything to do with whether it was bad or anything like that. She just said it was not a bad spirit. She didn't say it was some
She
relative.
didn't do it on the day with you.
She did it when I left.
Oh,
Yeah, and apparently it wasn't a bad spirit. But again, I don't know. You know, like it could have been anything, and it might have even been just her imagination. I don't know, or my imagination. But I when you're there and you experience it, how else do you explain it?
This is
Do
yours.
you know what I mean? You know, before that experience, I didn't believe in ghosts.
yeah.
You know, but then when I heard that, I stood back for a minute and thought, you know what? I can't explain that. You know, can't explain it.
So, by the sounds of it, while you're describing this object as pendulum, it reminds me a bit of a Ouija board.
I guess it would be in a way.
It's sort of like a bridge to the paranormal
Yeah,
entity.
I guess it would be in a way. You know, it's a means to communicate with a quote unquote spirit, right? You know, it's just something that she used. I don't know how else to explain it, but it was just something that happened. And before that time, I didn't necessarily really believe in spirits, but after experiencing that, you think, you know what? I don't know what to believe now. You know what I mean? It was a crazy experience. The fact that it sort of really moved your point of view and beliefs from a different place to experience that. You know, what's your take on that, Andy? Do you think? What would you do in that situation? Like, what would you do, mate? Like, how would you react to that? I was just terrified. I just stayed there all night, bro. I was like, what do I do? I'm going to just try and go to sleep. And then...
Andy, you are a believer in the spirits.
I mean,
the ghouls and ghosts and the booze and the...
Yeah, I do fully believe it. If that was me and I heard some shit like footsteps or anything like that, I most likely would go and check the house.
Yeah.
Would you?
Yeah.
Well, if I heard footsteps upstairs, I would not go and check the fucking house.
Well,
when you think
I'd
about it,
walk
though...
out the house.
Well, that time when you thought you saw someone upstairs.
That's true. Yeah.
I was the one to walk upstairs with a fucking... What is it?
I can't remember what the fuck it was.
It was like a woodcutter thing. It was like a woodcutter in my
One way
room.
to look at it, you might be getting robbed, mate. You know what I mean?
Well,
Someone
yeah.
might be literally breaking into your house, bro. And you're thinking it's a ghost. But it wasn't in that case from my experience.
Well, yeah, I mean...
Could have been a squatter.
Well, this guy he said that I just see someone at the top of your stairs.
You actually saw something.
Well, let's not forget the point, like I actually see shit, so...
Yeah, so obviously me hearing he's just seen someone at the top of the stairs.
Yeah.
And obviously I'm like, well, let's go check it out.
So that's your experience, your time, your sort of experience with that.
No, me and Andy have had an experience together at a famous church called Cold Christmas in Ware, Hertfordshire.
Oh, shit.
Which
Yeah,
is
yeah.
If you're from Hertfordshire,
famously,
you know this.
apparently, very highly on the paranormal scene. And we was walking... What was it? We was crossing the A10 bridge, weren't we?
Yeah.
To Cold Christmas, where we was back around the woods, and what was it we see? It was like a. I mean, me personally, I don't believe in this shit.
So we was like walking.
But yeah, we was walking, and I see a cloaked, black sort of shadow-looking figure.
Yeah.
Float past me.
Jeez.
And then about 20 meters in front of the road, it then crossed the road, didn't it?
Yeah.
It didn't walk. It sort of floated
you know.
above the ground towards the path to Cold Christmas.
Didn't have any legs.
No, it didn't. It wasn't touching the ground. It was floating above the ground.
What did it look like?
It was just black.
Like the only way I could like sort of describe it is, you know, from like Harry Potter. You know, you got the Dementors.
Literally, it was a Dementor floating across.
A mini Dementor.
Wow.
It wasn't as tall as a Dementor, but it was like a.
No, it was like human height.
Yeah, but it
Well,
was,
maybe, yeah, yeah.
and it just sort of it went from the right side
To the left.
to the left
yeah,
side.
exactly.
And I don't know, we was about to go through there.
It went down the path we was about to walk down.
Yeah, and we sort of just see that as a sign, you know.
Are you sure it wasn't a person trying to?
No, because I see it fucking because it wasn't
Mm.
touching the ground. It was just levitating.
And it wasn't slow. Like it wasn't. No, it wasn't walking speed. No, it was weird.
It was fucking odd. But that's my only paranormal experience. But I still don't believe it.
Yeah,
A bit, hypocritical. But I don't know.
I had an experience when I was younger. I was about 7 years old. I was living in Camden at the time in London, and I was just in my room just playing my action figures. Yeah, I was just on the bed and
Barbie.
Huh?
Was it Barbie?
No, no, it was like Toy Story, like Buzz Lightyear and all that shit. And then I see like a white hand, like like in the Addams Family.
Oh,
that white hand that walks on its own.
Yeah.
I saw like a white little figure looking like a hand. It was walking across the room, and I remember I just froze up. I had that Buzz Lightyear toy. It's quite heavy. I felt like throwing at it, but I thought, shit, but I better not because it might go for me. And then it went underneath the wardrobe, and then it disappeared. And
wow. Are you sure you wasn't watching Addams Family?
No. I was literally 1 minute I was playing with my toys. Next thing you know, you see a fucking hand walking through the room. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's messed up.
Yeah, it's pretty scary to say the least. And obviously, where I'm from in Sicily, it's a very superstitious culture.
Right.
So if I speak to family members about it, they sort of reinforce that belief of it could have been a spirit.
Right.
But
Okay.
what kind of spirit? Why would it be a hand?
I don't know. That boggles me. But funny enough, like a year later, I went on a school trip to the museum, and we were looking at paintings, and then there was a painting of a hand that they called it the hand of God, and it appeared in the king's room, and it started writing on the wall saying that your end is near, basically.
Oh,
so that sort of scared me.
Do you know what's
more.
weird? We're talking about Addams Family.
Yeah, the
fucking Addams Family song comes on.
Wow, that's bogey.
Well,
I mean, is that a
weird,
coincidence or what, bro?
That's the Addams Family song. Is it? We were just talking about Addams Family.
Yeah, so guys, we've got actually some music playing in the background.
Bro, how fucking...
We've got some music playing in the background, and the Addams Family has just come on.
Yeah, what the fuck?
So that's a bit random there. Spirits and that. But have you seen Evil Dead?
Shit.
The original. The original.
I've only seen the new one.
The original one was.
I don't think I have.
The original one was based on a guy that he goes to a cabin. He gets possessed and he cuts off his hand, right, and his hand becomes possessed, and his hand's attacking him and stuff. So it kind of might remind me of your story there. Remind me of your story. So that could be a thing. I've got a question for you guys. Actually,
Yeah.
do you believe in Ouija boards?
No, I've got one on my shirt. As you can see, I've got a Ouija board on the back of my t-shirt.
Well, that might be the thumbnail for this video.
I've got one right now.
So, so you don't believe they exist? Don't believe they? I mean, they obviously exist, but do you believe that they actually work? Do you believe they work at all?
I know.
To be honest with you, I'm
open.
got
a spirit world.
I'm open to all possibilities. I believe they do work, but will I go near a Ouija board? Hell no.
Yeah, that's a good point. Actually.
I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Regardless if it works or doesn't work, I'd rather not mess with that sort of stuff.
That's a good point actually, because for me, I've never really believed in it, but will I go near one? I don't know if I will, just in case it is real. Because what if it is?
Yeah, that's just movies, man. That's just freaks you out.
Yeah, but you never know. I mean, especially with the pendulum business,
that must have scarred you mentally.
Yeah, it kind of did. Is it real? Is it not? It makes you think. I mean, Andy, if I had a Ouija board, in my bag, right, and I brought it on the table, would you do it here?
No, I wouldn't do it, man. I couldn't do it.
Why not?
Because I just feel like if you used to
Do you believe in it?
Yeah, I do. 100%.
Because you're coming from a point of view of someone that is quite religious, right?
Yeah, I mean, don't know. I feel like it's just like if you open
A gateway?
yeah, it's like a
Gateway.
gateway. Yeah, and you go into that and you start like speaking to spirits or whatever. Don't know. It could be one of them things where you can't really close it. You know what I mean? It's not you
Mm.
only open it. There's no
Right.
close button there because it's spiritual. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You can't just shut off spiritual things. Like
You'd
Right,
rather
right.
just stay clear of that, you know.
yeah, I mean, I've always wanted to, but I don't think I ever will.
No, hell no.
But
Have you who here has done a Luigi board or Ouija board? Sorry,
No,
No, I don't think anyone has done a Ouija board.
never.
no.
No, it's a scary.
I've tried to contact the dead.
Have you?
Yeah, but obviously nothing happens. Not of a
Yeah.
Ouija board wise, but just like talking.
Mm.
Yeah, I just think all that paranormal stuff, I'd rather stay clear of it. Just like UFOs, I'm open to the belief, but you know what I mean? Would I go out my way to try and mess with it? No, I don't think so.
Yeah, yeah. I think there's such a broad subject, isn't it? You know, when you think about it, spirituality and different things about it. UFOs could be described as something paranormal or not.
Mm.
Everything can be,
And
Do you guys believe in the actual thought of there being maybe a hell and a heaven?
No,
Do you guys believe in that?
fuck no.
Do you believe in karma or anything hell and heaven
karma?
related?
Yeah,
Yeah.
karma. I believe in karma.
like a way that I sort of spin it in where everything's sort of understandable. I believe that as a human, regardless if you're atheist, whatever you are, Catholic, Christian, whatever you are, you've got an energy. The energy in you is a life force.
Right.
That's what's
Such
obviously
spooky music.
causing you to make conscious choices
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And I feel like
Yeah.
whatever energy you put out there, you sort of attract it to you. And I just believe that karma is linked to that sort of energy.
Right.
I believe in that too. I think
Because whatever, like, if you're a very bad mind, very evil person, and you put out, evil out there, that stuff is going to come back to you either way.
Yeah.
That's why I try and do good. And I think that's the same with spirits. I feel like a spirit could be an energy of a person that's got unfinished business on the earth. That's the way I see spirits and all that kind of
You
stuff.
never know.
But when it comes to demons, I just feel like in every culture, regardless if you're in England, you're in America, you're in countries in Africa, Italy, every single culture, regardless of cultural differences, they all believe in paranormal.
Yeah.
There's black magic and judge, whatever you want to call it, in every
It's still
culture.
spirits at the
There's
end of the day.
spirits
It's
in every
still
culture,
spirits, isn't it? And it comes from humans.
And it comes from humans, whether
Yeah.
it's human spirits or humans have summoned the spirits.
But I thought demons weren't human.
They're not, but
And they never were.
But they're spirits.
But they're
But they're not human.
But the way I see it, from my culture, there's been a lot of there are people that do witchcraft, and they're very
Really?
Yeah, they're very evil people, and they sort of try and summon those spirits, and they do enchantments with herbs and all that sort of crap.
Wow. More like, is it black magic related?
Black magic related.
Right.
And
Okay.
that's in every culture. Even in England, you get people that are pagans. Not like, you listen to drill videos and I'm gonna catch that pagan of actual religion, paganism, where they have bloody spell books.
Wow.
They have bloody spell books, and and I just think it's a red flag to dabble in that sort of.
Yeah, but to me that's a load of waffle.
It's a load of waffle, but people still participate in that activity.
Yeah, but seeing is believing, right?
Yeah. So
And that's the thing, though. When you see it, it makes you think.
Yeah,
like
but
my experience
that
and
thing
all of our
we've seen,
experiences.
and I still don't believe it.
And do you know what? One thing that made me think was that there's a thing, but don't quote me on the specific. Sorry, but scientists, in terms of what they can see in the sky, right, and space and all that, they only know about that. I don't know the actual percentage, but about 95% or some sort of percentage, a very high percentage of stuff, and they don't know what that percentage is. We can only see a few percentages of what actually is in the sky. Like, we understand what stars are and planets, right? There's a massive, the whole 95%. We haven't got a clue what it is in the sky, right? And there's a whole thing on dark energy and dark matter, right? And we don't even know what that is. We don't know what it is, and we know a lot. We don't know we don't know hardly anything compared to how much stuff is in the sky, right? So that sort of analogy could come back down to paranormal, we think we know a lot, but in reality of things, we don't know a lot. We only know a certain
We only
percentage
know
of the whole bigger
the tip
picture.
of the iceberg.
Yeah, we don't know
No,
what
we don't
really
even
is.
know that, bro.
You know,
We
so
know a snowflake on Everest, bro.
so we aren't. So we understand what we understand and what we've discovered from science, but I think there's a whole lot out there we don't know yet. You know, and we're still early, so you never know. Science could be true, and
It's
some
the
of
same
them.
with the ocean, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
I can't remember the percentage, but it's.
We haven't discovered all of it.
I think if something around like 20% of animals. No, we've only discovered 20% of
Of the
the
actual
whole
ocean.
ocean.
Yeah,
And like.
It's so deep,
we think
isn't it?
about
It's
all
hard to
these
get
like
to.
extinct animals, like all these like megalodon, and all that shit. It's an extinct shark. That we think, but
No, they don't exist.
You don't know that though.
well, it could be.
What are they feeding on?
Don't know.
They
Animals
There's
that
animals
we don't
down
know.
there.
I know, but if you haven't
So
seen,
deep
if
in
you
the
haven't
ocein
seen
that we can't go
100%
down
of
there.
it, how can you say it's bullshit?
Because they
Yeah.
need to feed a large amount a day, right?
Yeah.
I
And
know.
they need to emerge at some point.
I know, but
It might not need to though.
But
There's
that's
animals
where-
down there that don't.
where it
Yeah, but
comes
if
to
they-
the
if
eight.
there's
Yeah, but
bunch
then
of animals
you
down
look at the
there.
animals that are down there, anglerfish, yeah? They fucking glow and shit.
Well, the
Megalodons don't do that.
Yeah, but we don't know what the megalodon actually looks like.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, there could be a whole load of species that are fucking.
Yeah, of course there is, but
huge.
there's not fucking megalodon.
Mate, it's like the
No,
Welsh.
definitely not.
Was it the Welsh or the Scottish? They believe in the Loch Ness monster.
Yeah, that's a load of bollocks as well.
That's your opinion, but we don't know anything.
No, fuck
Nothing is
off.
proven.
Come on.
Nothing is proven. So until we know 100%, but at this moment in time we don't. So that's the.
And I believe in Santa.
Well, there you go.
Well, there you go.
Santa's real, guys.
Yeah.
Santa's real.
And hey, I've had
No, that's your opinion.
So's a tooth fairy.
tooth fairy.
Gave him 20 quid, seeing is believing.
Hey, I've had an experience where I put my
Delivered by mother.
teeth underneath the
No,
pillow.
just
I
20
woke
quid.
up, I found a quid.
You never know, mate.
You never know. No, but realistically, like, yeah, spirits. I'm open to the belief, but would I dabble in it? No.
Yeah.
No.
Do you believe that when you die you're going to go to somewhere?
I'd like to believe so.
Like
I
if
want
you've
to.
done really bad things, and the typical Christian way of looking at things is that if you've done really bad things in life, you're going to go to hell. If you've done really good things in life, you're going to go to heaven. Do you guys believe in that?
I'd like to think like if you're Adolf Hitler, obviously you're not going to go to heaven, are you?
So you believe that he's going to go to hell? He went hell.
Yeah, because of the karma. Because I believe that you're judged. When you die, you're judged by God, whoever.
Yeah, but years
Right.
ago, right?
Yeah.
If you stole a loaf of bread, you were executed, right? And you go to hell.
No, but that's.
If I
That's
steal a loaf of
different.
bread now, I go to heaven if I'm a good person. I don't go to hell.
I know, but
So how does that work?
No, but there's a difference between stealing a loaf of bread and
No,
exterminating
you're
a
missing the
bunch of
point.
people.
Why is it stealing a loaf of bread then compared to now? That back then would send me to hell. Now it wouldn't. How's that
Yeah,
fair?
but stealing a loaf of bread wouldn't send you to hell back then.
Well, they get killed for it.
But that's humans.
That's humans.
That's humans. That's not this.
No,
Heaven
well,
and hell
they'll-
is spiritual.
They'll
That's,
still get sent for hell.
That's not the quote
No,
unquote
but-
God's
no,
judgment,
you-
right? God's
yeah, but
judgment.
there's nothing that's telling you stealing a loaf of bread will take you to hell. I personally, I think it's murder, rape, terrorism.
There's a fine line.
Bad.
Right then, so
bad
I'm a
things.
soldier in the army and I kill 10 people.
No, that's not. You won't
But
go
the
to
Ten
hell for
Commandments
that.
says do not kill.
No, but that's
It does.
but that's
You're
not
defending-
it though,
you're
because
fighting
you're
for your
defending.
country.
You're defending.
No, I'm not. I'm in their country.
But
If
fighting
you're
for a
in the
cause.
I'm
army,
not defending anyone.
if you're in the army, yeah,
Hypocrisy.
you're signing up.
Bollocks.
You're signing no, but this is your opinion. You're signing up to kill people and defending your
No, I'm
country.
not. I'm not signing up to kill anyone.
Well, then you don't go to the army then.
In
If
the
you kill
in the
anyone-
army contract, it doesn't say I will kill someone.
No, but if you go to war, you will kill someone,
No.
or you'll be killed. So you can choose to
Kill or
kill
be
someone or
killed,
be
yeah.
killed, but
That's-
you won't go to hell for that because
That's
you're only
you're
defending
defending
yourself.
yourself. Yeah.
That's the way I see it.
Mm.
If you're fighting to save people and you're doing good, even though you're killing someone, even if you got to chop their fucking head off,
You're
yeah,
picking the lesser of two evils. in
you're
a
just
way,
defending yourself. You know what I mean? That's
Defending
natural. That's human. That's nature. You know what I mean? If someone comes at you and tries to kill you, you're gonna die.
Mate, it's
You're
like,
not. If you're not gonna go to hell,
Mate, it's like
if you kill them.
obviously.
So what happens to a dog that murders another dog?
That's
Animals?
law
Yeah.
of the jungle.
Well, we're
That's
animals.
survival, though. That's
Survival.
survival of the fittest.
Does that
we-
dog go to hell?
I don't know. I don't
You don't know.
That's the
so,
thing.
So,
That's the thing, though.
so
isn't
if
it?
you don't know anything on it, how can you believe it?
Yeah,
That's
but
the thing,
this,
though, isn't
yeah,
it?
but this is all we're all giving our opinions here. I don't know anything, but this is just what I think.
Well,
But
there is-
I don't know
yeah.
what happens when a dog kills another dog.
There is a religion though. Is it Buddhism or I can't remember the
Both.
actual religion, but they believe that when people reincarnate as an animal or whatever, they slowly build up to the human state, which is the ultimate
Yeah, and
spirit or being, right?
And if you lived a shitty life, you'll reincarnate as an ant.
Yeah, or something crazy,
like
right?
What's wrong with being an ant?
Yeah, but I'm just saying that basically, when you're an animal and you kill someone, it doesn't matter as much because I don't know exactly what you're doing. I think that's the belief.
And in the grand scheme of things, an animal isn't a human.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
And would you guys, if there was a hell, right? So you believe in heaven and hell, Andreas? Sorry, Andy.
Yeah.
So basically, we can cut that shit out.
Say it again.
So Andy, in terms of what you believe in and heaven and hell, if there was a hell, what would you think that actually? What do you think that actually looks like?
Oh, that's
And what
a
would that
tricky
actually
one.
be? What's your belief of what that would be like? A hell or a heaven?
As to like picture what hell would look
Yeah,
like.
what would it actually be? Or a heaven or hell, vice versa.
I don't typically think it's like what you see in the films, like you go down these escalators and then you just burn into this. There's just flames everywhere. I don't believe in that, but I believe like I don't know. It's like it's weird. It's like I think it's something that will cause you a lot of pain for
like reliving a
eternity.
moment.
You've seen Lucifer.
Some people believe that when you go to hell, you relive a moment, the worst moment in your life. You relive that over and over again.
You've been watching
Yeah,
Lucifer.
possibly,
the TV show.
I
I've
feel like
watched
it just impacts a lot of pain for
Yeah.
the rest of eternity. It's like the worst thing you could ever think of. It's just pain. It's pure pain.
And being in that position.
Yeah, and then heaven would be the complete opposite. So
Right.
Mm.
I always
Yeah.
imagined.
for me, heaven would just be full of Maseratis and Lambos. You know what I mean? Because that's my dream.
Yeah, when I grew up, I grew up as quite a religious person, just because my school was religious. I'm not. I wouldn't class myself as a religious person right now, but I'm more of an atheist. But when I was growing up, I always imagined it to be in heaven as being some place, a wonderful place in the clouds, right?
Yeah,
You go there and you're at peace. You see your family members. You see people that have died.
yeah.
You meet your family. You meet people.
I do believe
That's
in
what
that.
I always
yeah,
thought.
to be fair,
I always
heaven.
thought that you'd see people that you'd missed from earlier in life, or relatives that are just all there, and they're like, "Yo, what's going on?"
Yeah,
Imagine how crazy that'd be. You could see
that'd be
everyone
mad. Yeah,
of your whole history.
yeah.
Everyone's just chilling there, like, "What's going on?"
Everyone you want to be
How was
there
your
will
life?
be there.
And they actually, in the position where they actually knew what was going on as well. They'd watched you through your life. Like, that was great. What happened?
Yeah.
When you did this magnificent thing, when you made it or done something, how do you feel? And how crazy would that be to talk to people like that?
Yeah, that would be mad.
That's a great feeling,
Yeah, definitely. I just like to believe that you're going somewhere when you die. I just feel like there's a saying, like if you don't believe in something, you'll fall for anything.
Yeah.
So I'd like to live my life believing in something. It gives you hope. It gives you something to look forward to.
Yeah. I think because like I do, even though I'm like quite religious, I do question it still to this day, because I know like you just said about hope.
Hope, yeah.
Like
Exactly what it
things
is,
back
it's hope.
then,
They needed hope.
like people back then, there wasn't science. Like there just wasn't. Like there wasn't science. That they could only go off hope, really.
Yeah.
And it's like that back then they just didn't have nothing. So that like giving them hope would like carry their life on,
Yeah.
Because it's just hope to like when you die you will be, and you live a good life, a good life, and you don't do bad, and it gives you, and then that will give you hope to like move to the next place in your life when you die, and you will be in this magical land or whatever. And I feel like that's what a lot of people were thinking back then, but now that's like more science is coming in, and they're talking about the universe and how they think it's made and all the maths behind it. I don't know anything about it, to be honest with you, but as I'm getting older, I've questioned
What, religion?
Yeah, I've questioned it a lot. I still believe in it, but I have questioned it
And
a
that's
lot.
what, Christianity or Catholic or
Yeah, any religion.
Any religion
has the
religion
same
that believes
beliefs,
in
right?
heaven and hell. I mean,
and that links back to paranormal. Every culture, every religion, anything, anywhere in the world believes in the paranormal the same way they believe in religion. So it's all sort of interlinked with each other.
Yeah,
You know?
I've heard that. I
And
mean, did you hear that this thing where is it in Japan where is it where they got the forest where people go there to commit suicide?
forest.
The suicide forest, right? And the Japanese believe that there is lots of spirits in there, right, of people that have killed themselves. I think there was a movie actually. Was it Daniel Radcliffe?
I've seen that.
Daniel Radcliffe, and he was played as a guy that went to the suicide forest and he was seeing stuff.
You see visions of
People that were there. Yeah,
that was a spooky movie.
that was a scoop. Yeah,
What was that called?
I can't remember what it's called now, but it was. I'll try and find it in a bit. But yeah, it was a quite an interesting movie. You know, just to look at different perspectives of the people that live around the world. You know, people in Japan or wherever.
Yeah, man. It's like, what do you think of Scooby Doo?
Scooby Doo.
Yeah.
Do you know? I watched a little bit. I didn't watch it too much when I was growing up, though. To be fair.
Yeah. But in that show, they show you all these different, all these legends and stuff that you hear about. They come up in Scooby Doo.
Yeah.
Like Loch Ness Monster,
Right,
demons,
right.
all sorts. But yeah, do you believe in demonic possession? That's a big
shit!
one.
There's so many movies on that.
Like
So
The
many
Exorcist.
movies.
Like The Exorcist, like a girl gets possessed by a demon.
And they're going to like praise the Lord. They got the fucking they've got a cross and they're putting on their forehead and they're like praise the Lord, God is great, and the woman's like like freaking out and shit.
Yeah.
Do you believe in that? Andy?
What, being possessed, basically?
Yeah, being possessed and the whole demonic thing. Like it's a demon.
Possession.
It's a demon. And they're trying to get the demon's name and they're like trying to find it out of the girl.
And then the girl starts speaking in tongues like
Latin and shit.
Latin and that shit.
Yeah.
I don't know about being possessed, but like that's like when we were speaking about the Ouija board. I feel like maybe you can be like guided into doing bad shit that possessed people would do.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I believe in like someone possessing you and like they're taking over your spirit and they're completely controlling you. I feel like it'd be more of a you're being like misguided. I don't know if that's the word. Like you're just being misguided into thinking bad and doing bad.
It's like them cartoons where you get the devil on one shoulder and the angel on the other one. It's almost like the devil on the shoulder is guiding them to do evil.
Yeah. Lou, what's your opinion on this?
Demonic possession.
On demonic possession. Do you believe it's real? Do you believe it?
You know my opinion.
What is that, Lewis? What's the opinion?
It's a load of bollocks.
Like bollocks, okay. So you just don't believe in it full stop?
No.
So what do you believe then?
I'm open.
You're alive and you die. And
no, I'm open to the concept of religion and God. Maybe there is a God, right? But say heaven and hell, no.
Right.
No. There's nothing that can determine where you go in the afterlife. You die and you die.
Yeah.
You're in a box. You rot. You get eaten by spiders and worms. That's life.
Back to demonic possession. I'm sure you've heard of the Enfield poltergeist.
Yeah.
The Conjuring 2 is loosely based on that.
Yeah, but it's been American-fied.
Oh my days! Do you remember that? I think back in the day we actually went.
Yeah, we did.
We went to the Enfield cinema where the Enfield poltergeist.
We actually went to the house. Yeah, we went to the house as well, didn't we?
Yeah. We went there and we actually was in the actual place where the movie was set. Apparently on a true story.
We watched it where it was set.
Yeah, that was quite a booky movie to experience when you're in the location.
And there's documented videos of someone acting possessed in that house, not too far from home from us.
No, it's Green Street, isn't it?
Green Street.
That's where it's set. Green Street.
Enfield.
Yeah, but I'm saying if there's actual videos of a guy acting possessed back in the day, whenever it was, the 70s. I don't know when it happened.
I think it was the 70s.
Do you think that guy was on? He must have took drugs or something. He was acting like that.
He must have smoked a lot of spice.
Maybe.
Mm.
Was spice about though in the 70s? Spice is a racing thing, isn't it?
Well, he must smoke like
Maybe he
crack.
was making a lot of crack about
Mm.
crack's 90s, isn't it? 80s. I don't think 70s. I think crack was in around.
Drugs aside, yeah, what explains that? Do you think it was all for attention? Do you think he was faking
He might have just been alone.
it?
You get, to be fair, you do
Yeah.
get people that, people are born in different psychological states, right? Some
Mm.
people are born as autistic, some people are born as dyslexic,
Mm.
people are born in different positions, and maybe this person was born and he was just happened to be in a
Fruit Loop.
particularly bad psychological state, maybe. I don't know.
But if that was the case, why did they go down the possession route rather than the medical route?
Well, you know what? You get people in the world that they actually believe that they're possessed or they've been possessed by an evil spirit. There's a lot of things in the
Spirits.
black magic area where some people think, do you know what? I'm possessed, and they put on I think that we say they're putting on a voice, but they could be literally thinking that they're possessed by something, right? So maybe this person in Enfield thought he was generally possessed.
Well, we're very
You never
vulnerable
know.
to believe what we're told.
Yeah.
True, but I don't know.
Possession.
Different ways of looking at it.
Possession is a tricky one because people say they've had all these experiences, not just possession, paranormal. But at the end of the day, science rules everything, and unless it's something actually proven, you won't know if it exists or not.
Yeah. Did you say that someone you met once was actually a pagan? I remember you said we had this conversation previous, and been quite interesting to see what the situation was.
So should I go into the full story? Or?
Yeah, just go into it a little bit, see what happens.
All right. So at the time I was talking to someone. That I was seeing this person, this female, and she told me that she was a pagan.
Wow. Okay.
There was the religion was called pagan.
So define paganism. So what does that actually mean?
So when she was saying pagan, I thought about the London slang.
Right.
Well, obviously, I'm not that stupid, but I sort of took the piss. I was like, "Oh yeah, you're pagan. You're an op." But no, she broke it down and she said, "Oh no, paganism is basically an archaic English religion where people they believe in the earth, like in the winter you get winter solstice and all these the changing of the seasons. It's like the earth's got like different gods or different entities that
per season, per month,
per season that cause different events.
I'm more likely to believe in that. That sounds more realistic than a man in the clouds. Do you know what I mean?
So that person, she was a pagan, and she's saying how she has a spell book that she reads, and
wow,
she's basically she says she's basically a witch. And I was basically I took no mind of it at the beginning.
Wow.
So I was just I did what I had to do, and then I sort of when I was finished with her. Like when
finished.
I mean, when I lost interest.
When it stops, you stop seeing the lady, the kind lady.
When the entanglement ended. When the entanglement ended, I just didn't want.
When you exchange lips.
Yeah, I just didn't want anything to do with that person. Not because of her, but I wasn't in the right mind state. Of like, no, I can't. This is long. I can't be asked. And then and then a friend and then a friend that's close to this person tells me, "Oh, this person. She's a witch. She's put a curse on you." I said to this person, I was like, "Listen, mate, don't be saying stupid things like that." And then next thing you know, get into a bloody car accident.
Wow.
And my fucking I get stitches in my head. Could that be linked to the curse, to the paganism?
Wow. Yeah.
We'll never know. But I just thought it was a weird coincidence how the entanglement ended one week.
Of you being cursed.
Of me being apparently cursed. And the next week, I get into a near-death experience.
Yeah.
But could that be to someone's dodgy driving?
Yeah, I reckon it was.
I mean, do you know what? Some could say that was due to a faulty driver, but some could say that was due to a curse. You never know.
You never know, but
don't do drugs, kids.
But just that thought of I was supposedly cursed, and then bad shit happens to me. It's a bit, your brain likes to create links
Well,
to
it plays
things,
tricks. doesn't
Right.
it?
Yeah.
plays tricks and creates links
Yeah.
to events. So yeah, in the future, I won't be messing with no pagans. You know?
Fair enough.
So how did you meet this pagan? Who introduced you to the pagan?
I met her through another pagan.
Wait. So you met a pagan, and then this pagan introduced you to another
Pagan.
believer. Was it a believer? Or?
No, he wasn't. No, he was like a friend, innit? And
Fair enough.
we met through a friend, like mutual friends and all that. And yeah, and we met, and yeah, we clicked, innit?
Yeah, fair enough.
But yeah, it was short lived, the relationship, the entanglement, and I just thought, no, this is long,
Yeah. I think also it's good to add that us as a group, we collectively we just believe that anyone can believe whatever they want to believe, and we don't have no judgment or we don't have no contradictory or any sort of reasoning behind what you should or shouldn't believe. I really feel like everyone has got their own right to believe what they want to believe, and we all respect that. So that's something. If you want to be a pagan, you can. There's nothing wrong with that, and any religion, Muslim, Christianity. Even ones I haven't named today, and I just feel like it's something that we all just believe that everyone's got the right to believe whatever they want to believe in. So I just want to add that.
Do you believe you have a soul?
A soul.
Well, we have back to what I was saying about energy. I believe that your soul, your spirit,
is your energy.
Is your energy.
Yeah.
And then you might not look at it from a hoop-de-woo religious perspective, but if you go to like a yoga class, they'll tell you the same thing, like, oh, you're using your spiritual energy.
Yeah, I've heard that actually. Yeah.
And your energy, it goes into your stomach, and there's science behind that. All that acupuncture, yoga, Zen, all of those type of practices, they reinforce that belief that we've got a spirit, we've got an energy inside us.
Right.
Do
you believe that animals have souls?
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe, especially if you have a pet. The pet shows you love. You show the pet love. I'd like to believe they have a soul.
Really? Okay. So we have a pet goldfish in the house here. Yeah. What's his name? Andy?
Gemray.
And do you believe Gemray's got a soul?
Yeah.
Even though it's a throat loop.
He's a nice guy. We love Gemray. He's a little goldfish. He just chills out in his bowl on his own.
He waits for his food.
Yeah.
Every day.
And I give him his food, and he just swims to the bottom of the bowl.
Yeah,
he's telling me
that in the wrong direction of the food.
See what the signs, whether that goes to heaven or hell.
You never know. Is Gemray going to go hell?
How do you know that's not a bad fish?
He can't do no wrong. You know what I mean?
He can't exactly do a lot of bad in that bowl.
He might have. He might have masturbated multiple times.
We're all going to hell then for that.
He's been watching bear porn in there.
Looking at the Elvis CDs, we're like, oh.
No, I believe that animals, they because they haven't. The difference between humans and animals is that humans have free will. If you really want to, you can bloody do a Grand Theft Auto, go out and do a school shooting. If you're really that messed up in the head, animals haven't got the free will to do that,
or the intelligence,
to
do that, to realise that's bad.
Exactly. What do you think about people that are actually mentally unstable and they commit bad crimes like rape or murder?
Yeah, why is that fair for them to go to hell?
Because
but I don't think personally I don't think they will go to hell, because if
really?
Even though they've done bad things.
But you say that. Yeah. So surely if you're a murderer, you're mentally ill.
But not all murderers are mentally ill.
Why are they not mentally ill?
No, I wouldn't say.
No, because if you're normal, right, then you're not mentally ill. As a murderer, you are mentally ill.
But there is one way of looking at this. There's a way of looking at this.
He's joking. Look at every. They're not clearly normal.
When you say the word normal, right? I mean,
stable.
What exactly is that?
As stable as you can.
Because I understand that from my point of view, it's not right. It's not right to kill people or do a school shooting.
A mental illness here, like you actually can't, like that psycho, like just mental,
psychotic.
They're not with it. They're not with the world. Like that's completely.
Well, then that's every murderer, because they're not with it.
No,
why do they go to hell if it's not fair?
People murder for different reasons. People can have a.
What I'm saying is, if I get angry at someone at the pub and I murder them, then then that's not good.
But that might not be your fault. You might have something in your brain that doesn't work.
But then I would be mentally unstable.
Yeah.
then.
So why would you go to hell?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't think people that are mentally stable and that are actually genuinely mentally unstable and they commit a bad crime, yeah, they should go to a mental hospital and try and fix up and all that. But I think, yeah, people like that would have a chance of,
Well, because they didn't have actually the realization in their mind.
they don't have the
It
realization.
was bad.
Yeah, they fully don't recall, things like that.
That's a good point, actually, because think about maybe a child, right, from somewhere around the world that has been brought up in such a bad environment. What I mean by bad, I mean as in somewhat his peers or people he looked up to weren't what we'd regard as good people. Wouldn't actually be regarded as good people in our point of view, right?
Yeah.
They might be murderers, they might be God knows what, So if you've been brought up in that situation, what you perceive to be right or wrong, from your point of view, raping someone might be fine. Obviously, from our point of
but
view in
everyone
society,
knows
it's
that
not.
though.
Yeah, but from their point of view in a situation, it might not be. Say, for example, you're from a place where you brought up in a place where maybe another country, somewhere. Not. I'm not talking about the UK. Maybe another country around the world.
Yeah.
Where that's not perceived as you're in
So like an atmosphere where this shit happens a lot.
A place,
Well,
that might not be considered as a bad thing, or just might be considered as a part of life.
Yeah.
Would you think they went to hell?
Because surely God doesn't divide it in countries. All that's legal there, he's going to hell.
But I'm not
That's
dividing
illegal.
it into. I'm not dividing it into countries. I fully think if you know that everyone knows the difference between right or wrong, and if you don't know the difference between right or wrong, then you are mentally unstable.
Yeah.
So then why do you go to hell?
Because
if you're mentally unstable,
what the difference
that's
is?
What I'm saying. I don't think you should. I don't think you should go to hell if you're mentally unstable because you don't know you're doing.
What you're saying is if you don't know what you're doing, and you've been brought up like that,
all right. So
that means no one's going to hell because no one knows what they're doing.
All right, cool. So to back up on Andy's point,
because no one normal is a murderer,
all right,
or whatever.
I think people that have murdered someone, they can be stable and fully know that they've murdered someone, and they do it anyway.
There is people like that.
Let's just say, I drop a brick on your head and you die.
Well, that's unintentional. Cool. That's different. I'm on about intentional.
Yeah, but does that? Yeah, but that doesn't mean I'm a fucking nut job and I didn't know what I was doing.
No, I'm on about intentional.
All right, so intentional murder.
Yeah,
then that's straight up. Yeah, that's bad.
All right, but if you really want
all of them are unstable.
If you really want to deep,
I wouldn't say
if you really want to deep that, forget about God. Forget about hell. If you go to court for killing someone, the criminal prosecution will determine a mens rea and an actus rea. A mens rea is the intention, and the actus rea is the action. If the intention meets the action, then you're guilty. But if you're mentally unstable and you kill someone, you're only fulfilling the action, but the intention wasn't there. Right. So you might not be absolutely innocent, but you're classed as innocent in a way where you can't reason.
Right, you don't know that you
don't know what's right and wrong.
You haven't got the intelligence that you're doing what you're doing is wrong.
Exactly, and I feel like people that go to hell, they had the choice to commit murder and they knew what they were doing and they've done it from an evil intention. But people that don't know the difference, people that are just Fruit Loops, they should have just been sectioned and given the right treatment.
Yeah. Right. Like for example, an example of this would be like hypothetically, if you were to rob a bank, hypothetically, quote unquote, and you was robbing a bank, right? And as you were doing it, it was on a day perhaps where it was a bank holiday or something like that, where no one was meant to be there. But when you was robbing this bank, right, maybe a child or someone saw you in that moment. Someone happened to be there in that moment. Now, in that position while you're robbing the bank, you've got a position where if you kill that person, okay, you're going to get away with it because you've got no witnesses.
So if you killed a child that see you,
you've got no witnesses and you're going to get away with it. But if you don't kill them and they go away, that means someone has seen you do it. Now you know what you're doing because you're robbing a bank, and you also know that you can or can't kill them. Yeah. But you might be in a position where, do you know what, fuck them, I'm going to kill them, or do you know what, no, I'm not going to kill them because this is not the right thing to do. All right, so you might kill them. Right, and in that situation, you've got the intelligence because you know that what you're doing is wrong ultimately, and also that when
You
by
done
killing
it
that
anyway.
by killing that person is also wrong, and you
Yeah.
did it anyway, right? So that's an example from what I can think of.
But yeah, so at the end of the day, that person, the bank robber, he had the intention to kill that person,
Yeah,
which obviously that's
to get away with it.
evil, you know.
Like, he went there for one purpose, to get the money from the bank.
Yeah,
And
and that witness, he could have dealt with it differently. He could have given it a bit of cash. You know, you didn't see anything.
yeah.
You could have spoken to them.
Or take your chances, because at the end
Yeah.
of the day, what you're doing is wrong, and you know what's the saying? Don't
Yeah.
do the crime if you can't do the time.
Can't do
Like,
the time. Yeah.
that's always got to be in the back of your head as a criminal,
Yeah.
like that.
Mm.
So,
Hypothetically, that's a good point.
and if as a professional criminal, you should
Yeah.
know there's not going to be a fucking baby there, or a kid
Hypothetically.
there. Yeah, but you know what I mean.
But yeah, it all comes down to your intention, to like your willingness to know right and wrong. You know. So yeah,
Good point.
final takes on paranormal, religion, and obviously ethics.
Yeah, I mean, for me personally, I'm in this position where I'm kind of on the fence. You know, I've been brought up in a position where religion was really, really sort of pushed into my mental thought through schooling. You know, I went to a place where religion was, we even had a vicar that come into school every week when I was growing up,
I
and
had that shit.
was even like, read out, quotes from the Bible and talk about things. Do you know what, that's good. Because some could say that's good, some could say that's bad. And it depends on your point of view. So from when I was growing up, I had quite a religious point of view, and then as I've left school and thought about it, my own point of view, and thought about life, I've really kind of realised that I've got a strong belief in science, and a strong belief in that. You know what, I don't know if I believe this 100%. There's some things in the personally, my opinion, because the religion that I grew up with was Christianity, in that Bible, there's some things that I would personally question, but some people wouldn't, and some people would. But from my point of view, I've sort of grown up to believe sort of both sides, really, the science and the religious parts. So that's interesting.
Yeah. How's up? What are your final thoughts?
Well, I think we're much more intelligent now
Hmm.
as to not believe in it. And but at the same time, I don't know. It might be there, might not be. All this God stuff, but like I said, we're much more intelligent now. We've sort of progressed, and it's sort of holding us back a bit.
Yeah.
It does hold us back.
What's holding us back? Religion?
Yeah.
Why?
War.
But what about superstitiousness in general? So,
No.
you think it's all
Yeah,
crap?
I don't believe in it.
All right. Any final thoughts, Andy, before you wrap up?
I mean, I've been brought up religious.
Yeah.
I believe in religion, heaven and hell. Believe in ghosts, spirits. I believe in it all.
Complete opposite.
It's the complete opposite.
Fair enough.
Yes, I believe in it, everything basically.
Yeah.
But I also believe in science. So, because science is fact, it's facts.
Yeah, but you
They
could,
come out
you
with
could
science and it's
argue that
facts.
God created science as well.
Yeah, you could. Yeah.
There is some things though, like for example, Andy, you probably understand what I'm saying here. Like for example, like even trees, for example, right? When trees grow, they produce the rings in the trees when they grow, right? And that can be dated.
Yeah.
Right. So there is some trees that are literally thousands of years old, and in Christianity, for example, it's dated to be around what 2,000 years old, something like that.
Oak trees and all that.
There is some trees in like California and America which are over 2,000 years old. There are trees that are so old, right, and they're dated to be that old. So how the hell can Christianity be real if the world's only 2,000 years old? If these trees are older than 2,000 years old, do you know what I mean? And we can work that out that they are older than that. So in my mind, there is things like that question religion, but at the same time, it is a matter of opinion, and what you believe is what you believe. I respect that.
The world wasn't created 2,000 years ago.
That's what the Bible says.
Yeah, it does.
So no, that 2,000 years is BC. No, AD.
Before Christ.
We're 2021 AD.
I know, but yeah. So,
So
AD,
what about 1 BC?
AD means after death. BC means before Christ.
Before Christ, right?
So there was a whole lot of history before Christ.
That's just when was it when Jesus was born?
Yeah,
Yeah.
all this 2000.
Jesus.
Who?
That's when Jesus was born. So
Yeah.
that's the
2000
2000. That's
so
the
years ago.
2000 years you was on about.
Is that
Mm.
Muppet
God
geezer?
is the one that created the world, which has been around for billions of years
Yeah.
or however long.
And
I
back-
don't know.
So there's no date on that. You think?
No,
I don't. No. There's no date on
back
that.
on that whole 7 days thing, he created the world in 7 days. I believe that 7 days is a metaphor for thousands of years.
Really?
So one set of thousands of years created the ocean, one set of thousands of years created the animals, and so forth, so forth.
Okay, so there's different ways to look at it.
Yeah, I just
Yeah,
see.
fair enough.
I believe in God.
How did he create it? Like chisels, hammers?
No, through
saws?
science. Through science, isn't it?
So he
I feel
didn't
like God-
use filler and paint and
No, I feel.
grass seeds
No,
and
I mean, I feel like God
paintbrushes.
created the Big Bang, and the science is God's work, is God's power.
with
Fair
what?
enough.
His hands.
No, science. And who created science then? You can't really track that
Who
back.
created
can you?
God?
That's the thing, though.
Yeah.
There's ways to
Exactly.
look at it.
What do you believe God is, though? Do you believe His
So
spirit?
I believe that God is the energy of the world, the energy of the universe, and He could be a scientific energy. He could, and the proof is in the pudding. Like we've all got energies. We're not fucking vegetables for fuck's sake. We're what I mean. We can think, create stuff, make choices. You understand?
Yeah, I understand.
Procreate, make
So,
life.
so you don't believe God's a man in the sky and all this bollocks?
No, I believe God is a life force. He's the world. He's
I
the
don't believe in
universe.
Yeah, it depends. If you
Yeah.
put in your way as you believe God is a
An energy,
sort of life itself,
life itself, exactly.
then I'll be with you on that one.
Yeah, but I don't. Obviously, I don't. I'm not 7. I don't believe that God's a man with a fucking stick, abracadabra.
White robe.
If that's the
Yeah,
case,
white
then,
robe,
if that's the
yeah,
case,
all
then actually, yeah, I'm actually with you on that one.
Yeah,
Well, you believe that God might have done all this,
No, I won't say God.
but
Do you know what I mean?
but there's an ultimate
power.
of
power
course.
of energy.
You believe there's an ultimate power of
yeah.
a being, something.
Oh no, not a being. It's just fucking energy.
I mean, do you know what? Like, I personally believe that it was this a massive bigger picture which we don't understand. You've got all the planets in the solar system that we know, but I think there's a massive area that we just do not understand, and that something obviously there was some sort of thing that was a trigger to develop these planets around our solar system, and what that is we don't know. But one thing I know is that if we could zoom out, like we're in Earth, and we're such a small thing compared to the rest of the planets in our solar system and what we believe in. But if we could zoom out and look at the bigger picture, I think we'll be really shocked. And I don't think we quite understand exactly where we come from, whether it is God or whether it is something else to do with science or what actually caused us to be here in the first place. No, you never know. We could actually be like a tiny. We could even be like a blob in a glass in some science lab in some alien world. You never know what the hell we are and why we're here, because we cannot see past. We cannot see far back enough or far out enough to see the bigger picture in terms of where we actually are in the universe, or So that's the problem. But it's an interesting way to look at
and
things.
until we've discovered the whole universe, I guess we'll never know.
Well, that won't ever happen.
I don't think as humans we could do that.
Exactly. So we'll only know when we exit this life.
Yeah,
We won't
don't.
even discover our own galaxy, let alone the universe.
Well, another subject, but
We'll
it's
speak about science in another subject.
Yeah, but I was
Yeah.
saying, in humans' life, we will never discover our own galaxy. Max.
Well, that's the thing, though. Like you say that, but
We won't.
there is like theories on how that would be done.
Well, we will never get to the other side of our galaxy.
Well, maybe not, but we can get to a large proportion of it
No.
over an extremely long period of time,
Yeah.
thousands and
maybe
thousands of
half,
years, thousands and
if
thousands
that,
of years.
actually.
Like there's theories of like AI,
What's that?
right? You
Artificial
could get
robots.
you could get literally if we advanced enough to have spaceships that were good enough to travel and run off power off stars and light energy and whatever. We could theoretically have humans that were, frozen or as eggs, as embryos, and then we could travel to far parts of the universe over thousands of years.
Yeah.
And then when we get to a certain point, then the AI will unfreeze us or develop us into humans and then educate us. There's a whole theory and,
we'll
way
long,
of looking at it
long
like that.
gone before that ever happens.
So yeah, in our lifetimes, no, but in thousands of years' time, it's a possibility.
No, because we're not even anywhere near the speed of light.
Well, you never know what Elon Musk is going to do next, right?
Even we're nowhere near the speed of light.
That guy, mate, that guy. Even the other day, he managed to land. Did you see this?
Yeah, there's.
He managed to land a rocket from space on Earth.
I know, it was mad.
So it went up,
it
it come down, it landed upright. I mean,
Mad.
Yeah, but that's what they all
we
that's
have
never happened
we have
before.
never done that before.
Real about.
Happened like yesterday,
There's loads of times.
mate. Not actually the actual big starship, the big ass one.
It didn't break off into
Because
bits.
we've done the small shitty ones, but not this big ass motherfucker.
Oh, so is it?
This is the star.
is it-
This is the starship. It happened like
so
yesterday.
it's not a Falcon Heavy, what it was called.
Something like that. It's called Starship or something. Don't quote me on this, guys. But yeah, I'm just like.
I was gonna say, I was gonna say it's done that thousand.
But it's just crazy that how we can do these things, and we're when you think about it, how 20 years ago, we could not do this shit,
You say that, but we haven't been to the moon in like fucking 60 years.
We have. Apparently the Chinese went to the moon like a month. They took a robot over there.
What about humans?
Oh, I don't know about that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But we can. We just haven't. We just know what's there.
You know, Elon Musk, he made a flamethrower.
What do you mean?
He actually made a flamethrower. He made 20,000 flamethrowers.
Oh yeah, and sold them for profit.
Yeah,
Yeah, but that guy, mate. That guy.
That's mad, isn't it? I looked up on YouTube yesterday.
He done.
It's like a bunch of people.
I saw this on the internet. Yeah, he done before he did all this massive money and PayPal and all that.
It was literally just fucking about.
He just done it to make money.
It was a
cash earner. It was cash earner.
Yeah, and he sold. I think it was 20,000. He made 20,000, and he sold all of them under a week.
Yeah, but I think he made more than that. I think he made a few mil out of that.
No, he made 20,000. As in, like, he made 20,000 flamethrowers.
Oh right, made them,
and he sold all of them under
for a few
week.
million. Yeah,
Yeah,
for a few million. Yeah, yeah. The guy is just he knows how to
insane.
make money. Yeah,
sick though, isn't it?
yeah, it's mad. How'd you get the money to make 20,000 flamethrowers? Like, that's expensive.
Isn't it?
But you never know.
They weren't like proper like flamethrowers. They were literally just like.
They were the Hollywood
meter distance.
Yeah,
it weren't
because
like the World War II like fucking shoots.
Yeah, because
miles,
flamethrowers are technically illegal, right?
Yeah.
Even in America, in some parts of Texas, even in Texas, they're illegal, right? So these were like Hollywood flamethrowers, but the ones that are like just gas powered, not petrol, they were like the legal ones, right?
Yeah.
But he still made them to earn money.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's just like a little.
some
cylinder,
people know
sits
how
on
to
top.
do it. Yeah,
It's pretty mad though.
I read about that actually.
Should we end it?
Yeah, send it there.
Oh god.